Yo, what up? This a new video right here. You know what I'm saying? It is 4 a.m. Eastern time in Philadelphia right now. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all guys had a great 4th of July. You know, I did. You know, just hung out with family. You know, did what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I got like a very special video to do for y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? I had this idea in mind since earlier today. No, I was inspired by this article that I read on a site that I usually enjoy looking at called defiantarevolution.com. Comes up with dope articles, dope rankings, dope album reviews. If you're a hip hop fan, you just must check it out. No, I was looking for like these type of videos, but nobody never made a video like this. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else ain't gonna do it, so I guess I'm gonna be the one who step in the plate and do it. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I really need to make this video bad. So this is gonna be, well, the whole theme of this whole video today is gonna be about West Coast hip hop. Yes, I'm an East Coast nigga. I'm a Philadelphia born. I love East Coast New York hip hop, but West Coast hip hop is right up in the upper echelon. Like, it is right up there. I love me some West Coast hip hop because I grew up on that shit. You know what I mean? I grew up listening, to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Ice Cube, NWA. The list goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely love the West Side. Plus, I got family from down there. I never been to Cali. I always want to go down there, but it is what it is. But anyways, like, the West Coast, man, their music, man, is so magical. Shit, was ahead of its time. It's still timeless to this day. I could just listen to West Coast hip hop all fucking day long. I don't care, you know what I mean, when I'm in the mood or not, you know what I'm saying? So this video, I'm gonna give y'all the 30 greatest West Coast rap albums of all time. Yes, I said it. 30. Not 20, not 25, not 10, not 50. 30. This was challenging right here. I try to take my time, writing down the albums that I want to put on the list. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pain, but I have to do this. You know what I mean? Like, who else gonna do this? But I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? I got some albums that some of y'all might not know about, but some of y'all might know about. But I'm gonna educate y'all niggas on some shit. You know what I'm saying? So sit back, relax, get some popcorn, and enjoy the show. Alright? Now, we better get start off at number 30 with this gem right here. Daz Dillinger's first solo debut album, Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back, released in 1998. Daz Dillinger, one half of the legendary Dogg Pound. He released the album in 98, which is an underrated gem, a West Coast gem right here from Death Row. This was released at a time when Death Row really wasn't on the radar like that, and on a decline due to the incarceration of Suge. Daz hit the world with an album that tends to go underappreciated for the most part. The last dope release off the label, Daz delivered an album that captured the essence of prime Death Row era G-Funk and features appearances from Kurupt, Tupac, The Outlaws, Superfly, Too Short, Be Legit, MC8, WC, and even Snoop and Nate Dogg. This album, in a way, in its own Dogg Pound version of The Chronic, and it works well. Tracks like The Ultimate Come Up, Initiated, and Gang Banging Ass Criminal made this one of the more solid projects to come from the label, earning a spot on the list. So this is Daz Dillinger, Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back, 1998. Number 29 will have to be his partner in crime, Kurupt, with his second album, The Streets Is a Mother, released in 1999. Hands down, my favorite album from him. Kurupt's sophomore album highlighted his gangster ways and fierce delivery, making it a fan favorite of many who considered his best solo work of all time. This album also includes the shocking diss track Calling Out Names, which was created after news broke that DMX allegedly had an affair with Foxy Brown, who was Corrupt's ex-fiancée at the time. Corrupt, he refused to hold back, calling out his newfound enemies and nearly anyone who was associated with them. But this album right here, oh my fucking god, insane, way better than Corruption. Like Corrupt, he just came out with guns blazing, like Trilogy, Calling Out Names, like I said before, I Call Shots, Loose Cannons, Who Ride With Us, Never Gonna Get It Up, Represent That GC, Welcome Home, I Ain't Shit While My Homeboys, the title track. Check this album out, y'all. This album right here is a West Coast classic. So this is Corrupt, The Streets Is a Mother, 1999. Next album is the Hieroglyphics' own number 28 with Del, the Funky Homo Sapien, his second album, No Leave for Alarm, released in 1993. After breaking out of the Bay Area underground scene in the early 90s, Del, the Funky Homo Sapien made a radical turn with this 93 sophomore release. This album was produced without the involvement of Ice Cube, who was him and Del, they're cousins, by the way, in case y'all don't know. Though some critics are harsh on No Leave for Alarm, claim that it's not as strong as his debut album, If My Brother George Was Here, which came out back in 91. Another dope album right there. But this album, in my opinion, is where Del really stood out, and this album stood the test of time. It remains a challenging and amazing follow-up to one of the most talented, the most essentially gifted artists to ever emerge from the world of West Coast hip hop. Love this album right here. So this is Del, the Funky Homo Sapien, No Leave for Alarm, at number 28. Coming at number 27 will have to be this album right here, DJ Quik's first debut album. Quik is the name, released in 1991. One of the most underrated artists from the West Coast to me is definitely DJ Quik. He's a great producer and isn't a bad rapper by any stretch. This debut album is one of his most popular ones, and probably his most notable one, as songs like Born and Raised in Compton, Sweet Black Pussy, Tonight, and the title track all showcase why Quik is one of the best West Coast artists ever. Point blank. That was DJ Quik. Quik is the name, at number 27. Number 26 will have to be NWA second and final album they ever did together as a group, Niggas for Life, released in 1991. Their best album came after the departure of Ice Cube, and despite the tension at the time, NWA did what they do best and delivered yet another classic for hip-hop. From the anthem Real Niggas Don't Die to the supremely dope Real Niggas, All Way Into Something, all the way down to the more infamous tracks like She Swallowed It and One Less Bitch, which is like my favorite song of this album. This is gangster rap 101, and no one did it better than NWA. This album is just a confirmation of that. So this is NWA, Niggas for Life, 1991. Number 25, Souls of Mischief first debut album, 93 Till Infinity, released in 1993. A true underground gem, Souls of Mischief kept the Bay Area booming with this dope album, as they made sure 1993 had more than enough West Coast music to love and enjoy. The title track is the most infamous song but from this album, but when we get other songs like Limitations and Make Your Mind Up, you know what Social Mischief was precise in crafting this project. The sound wasn't like your normal West Coast gangster rap, much like the Pharcyde. That's what made this group stand out even more. So this is Souls of Mischief, 93 to Infinity, 1993. Another classic from the Hieroglyphics crew. Number 24 will have to be Compton's own The Game, with his first debut album, The Documentary, released in 2005. There is no denying the fact that we didn't see Game coming at all. At least not in the way he dominated the charts and took over for the West. This was one of those albums that was expected to be big and became a classic, despite the issue that he had with 50 Cent after this together on songs like Halo, Love It, How We Do, and West Side Story, they had a ton of chemistry. Then the soul songs from Game, like Start From Scratch, Church for Thugs, Running, and Dreams were also super dope, making this album one of the hottest listens for a West Coast album in the 2000s. G-Unit masterpiece right here. This is The Game, the documentary, 2005. That was number 24. Number 23, up next will have to be Tupac, his fifth and final album that he ever did when he was alive. The Don Illuminati 7 Theory, released in 1996. Known to most as the Machiavelli album, this project is Pac's second best album in the music classic. With the B squad of Death Row producers at his disposal, Pac set out to make a timeless album and something that truly fits his direction. And what comes is this. This album has a classic diss in Bomb First, as well as another one in Against All Odds, while still providing tracks like Crazy, Me and My Girlfriend, as well as To Live and Die in LA, plus my favorite track, Hold Your Head. Tupac made some of his greatest music on this album. With only a small misstep here at best, the production is different from the sound where we used to Pac, but it works. Lyrically, Pac is at his darkest since Me Against the World, but he recovers so well with this album, blends everything together perfectly. Classic. That was Tupac, the Machiavelli album, 96. That was number 23. Number 22 will have to be, DJ Quik, his third album, Safe and Sound, released in 1995. Like I said before, DJ Quik is one of the greatest producers and rappers from the West. He has classic albums in his catalog. He has one of the most infamous names to come from the West Coast. When we look back at his discography and what he has managed to accomplish, one of his best albums will have to be this album right here, Safe and Sound. All of his albums are mostly solid, but this one right here is my favorite. The sound is always as mostly handled by Quik, providing that signature cohesion on his albums and with minimal guest appearances. Tracks like It's Your Fantasy, the classic diss track going at MC8 with Dollars and Cents, Something for the Mood, Get At Me, and more are among the highlights on this album. Quik was still in his zone here, and as a result, Safe and Sound is an amazing listen from beginning to end. So this is DJ Quik, Safe and Sound, 1995, number 22. Number 21 will have to be Eazy-E first debut album, Easy Does It, released in 1988. The first Eazy-E solo album was vital for the whole NWA movement. Eazy wasn't the best rapper, of course, and his rhymes were all written for him, but he really managed to bring some West Coast flavor with his solo debut album. He would bring the fire on songs like Ruthless Villain, and of course the iconic Boys in the Hood. And what Eazy lacked in pure rap skill and ability, he made up for it in aggression and style. This is one of those albums that is best remembered for its impact more than just the music. It's definitely one of the most original gangster rap albums that set the tone for that era. May God rest his soul. So this is Eazy-E with Easy Does It at number 21. Number 20 will have to be the Pharcyde second album, Lab Cabin California, released in 1995. The sophomore album from the amazing West Coast group features one of my favorite songs of the 90s. When the JD produced Running hits, you get lost in the trance. The beat is infectious and the hook is beyond catchy, but it's inspiring you to sing along. Other tracks like Drop and She Said help to round out an album that exceeds this group's debut album by just a bit. But another classic from the Pharcyde. So that was the Pharcyde, Lab Cabin California at number 20. Number 19 will have to be Exhibit's first debut album, At the Speed of Life, released in 1996. A slept-on album that tends to get not as much credit as it should. Exhibit was one of those MCs who always had skills but was overlooked. Lost in the whole East and West beef was the fact that Exhibit released one of his best albums. He would shine lyrically on tracks like Eyes May Shine, the title track, and a number of others on this album. Though he is not remembered as a true classic, this album is without a doubt one of the best to come off the West, a masterpiece from Exhibit. Exhibit at the Speed of Life at number 19. Number 18 will have to be Ras Kass's first debut album, So on Ice, released in 1996. Hands down one of the most lyrical West Coast albums ever. This project features the underrated and talented Ras Kass spitting poetics over dope production. He is one of the most talented wordsmiths in the West, and this album was a true testament to his skill and precision. On tracks like Anything Goes and the super nature of the threat, Ras goes ballistic with his lyricism, helping to paint pictures of what he sees around him and expressing his knowledge. This album is one to study if you're a fan of hip hop. So this is Ras Kass, So on Ice, 1996. Number 17 will have to be Compton's Most Wanted with their third album, Music to Drive By, released in 1992. This is an underrated album that one or many people will be shocked to see this make the list. But however, the group that featured the legendary MC8 will come out with an album that is unseemly ahead of its time. The gangsta rap sound wasn't running necessarily new, but the execution of this album felt different. Tracks like Duck Sick Part 2, Dead Men Don't Tell No Lies, Jack Mode were all the anthems. And every time 8 takes a shot at his former nemesis DJ Quick on his album, I smile at the thought that at one of the most hard-hitting hip-hop beats ever. Classic material. Compton's Most Wanted, Music to Drive By at number 17. Number 16 will have to be E40 with his E40 with In a Major Way, released in 1995. Are you shocked to see an album from E40 on my list? Well, don't be. Though he's not the best lyricist, but there's no denying that E40 is one of the most famous rappers from the coast. This is my favorite album out of all the 40 albums, with bangers like Sprinkle Me, Spittin', Sideways, Dusted and Disgusted. This has enough dope music to get into my approval. Overall, it showcases 40 at his best. So this is E40 In a Major Way, 1995. Number 15, Dr. Dre's second album, The Chronic 2001, released in 1999. One of the most influential West Coast hip-hop albums ever. This is the second Dr. Dre album. Much like his first, Dre gathered a large number of producers, writers, and rappers to help create an amazing West Coast opus to signify the end of his career, or what was presumably the end of his recording career. He would have Hitman and 6ix2 by his side of the majority of this album, along with Snoop, Eminem, Nate Dogg, Corrupt, and Exhibit on multiple tracks. Songs like Forgot About Dre, The Next Episode, Let's Get High, and Fuck You all helped to make this an album to remember, and I dare to say it might be a top 10 album from the coast if this was ranked. Be on lookout for a review on this album, November 16th, 2019. Dr. Dre, The Chronic 2001, 1999. At number 15. Number 14 will have to be Too Short's first major label debut album, Born to Mac, released in 1997. Too Short is one of the most vital voices in West Coast hip hop. Before he was a legend in the game, Short was making his name known with tracks like Freaky Tales, You Know What I Mean, and the classic Mac Attack. In today's sensitive society, this album wouldn't last a second, but make no mistake about it, Too Short has always let it be known he has no faint of heart. Biatch. So that was Too Short with Born to Mac, 87 at number 14. Number 13 would have to be Tupac with his fourth album, All Eyes on Me, released in 1996. Everybody should must know though about this album right here. Less than a year later, after serving months in prison, Pac was out of jail, signed Death Row Records. He went to work very quickly and made this iconic double album, which features a ton of classic songs. This album has some filler, but Pac continued to continue his hot streak. It's his most popular project and his most praised in terms of mainstream, but this is a definite West Coast classic. Tupac, All Eyes on Me, 96 at number 13. Number 12 will have to be the DOC with his first debut album, No One Could Do It Better, released in 1989, one of Dr. Dre's best produced albums. Though originally from Dallas, Texas, but DOC is one of those artists who found his comfort zone in the West Coast. He worked closely with Dre and NWA coming up, and on this album, he gets to showcase his skill, sticking with the formula that made West Coast gangster rap more popular than ever. DOC effortlessly floats over the production and tracks here as he gives us dope music like It's Funky Enough and my favorite, the title track, No One Could Do It Better. Overall, this is a certified West Coast classic and it's an album that you cannot sleep on when speaking on the West, period. The DOC, No One Could Do It Better, 1989. One of the biggest what-ifs in hip-hop history. DOC at number 12. Number 11 will have to be Warren G first debut album, Regulate G-Funk Era, released in 1994. One of the albums that really set the tone for the G-Funk era was this aptly titled Warren G solo project. The production here is that essential West Coast sound that you wanted to hear with the title track Regulate, as he coasted over production and also let Nate Dogg earn his legendary status. Rest in peace, by the way. The album itself shows Warren as his comfortable on the microphone as we ever heard him on. And there's a vibe on this project that's hard to explain. The one way I could, sum it up is that this album is the epitome of what G-Funk was supposed to be. It sound like classic right here. Warren G, Regulate G-Funk Era, 1994. Number 11. Number 10 will have to be Cypress Hill's second album, Black Sunday, released in 1993. Many don't know the greatness of Cypress Hill. They're one of the best from the West, and they don't get enough credit for their style and music. The sophomore album from them saw their rock-infused hip-hop style go top-notch. This was an album for the smokers and the gangsters, and Cypress Hill knew exactly what to appeal to, and it worked. So this is Cypress Hill, Black Sunday at number 10. Number 9 will have to be Ice-T with OG Original Gangster, released in 1991. Ice-T does not get all the credit he deserves for being as he should, for being a pioneer in the game. He is one of those guys who helped usher in the gangster rap era at a time when movies were taking over his time. Ice went back and reminded all these cats that he was exactly what the title suggested, a true OG. Tracks like New Jack Hustler, Mind Over Matter, and Midnight helped to round out what many feel was Ice-T's best album. I wouldn't debate that either, because this is my favorite album from him, and I'm so lucky to own this album in my collection. So this is Ice-T with OG Original Gangster at number 9. Number 8 will have to be the Pharcyde first debut album, Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde, released in 1992. This debut from the California-based group is truly one of my all-time favorites, with a playful vibe, a funky sound, along with some soulful production. This group would hit it big with this album. The Pharcyde would manage to showcase their eclectic talents on this album and earn themselves some notoriety. I consider this a true classic, and though the Pharcyde doesn't instantly come to mind when speaking of the West Coast classics, they should be mentioned, and this is a large reason why. So this is the Pharcyde, Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde, 1992 at number 8. Oh yeah, number 7, the Dogg Pound first debut album, Dog Food, released in 1995. One of my favorite albums of all time from the West Coast. Definitely had to make this list. Corrupt and Daz are two of the best artists to come from the West. Well, Corrupt by way of Philly, my hometown, 215 representing. And together, they would release a classic that still sounds dope today. With the G-Funk production and rhymes, we learned that the Dog Pound was a force to be reckoned with in hip-hop. So this is the Dog Pound, Dog Food, 1995, one of Death Row's best albums. Dog Food at number 7. Number 6 will have to be Ice Cube's second album, Death Certificate, released in 1991. Cube was one of the most menacing rappers in the world during this period, and after his converting to Islam, he would craft an absolute, in my opinion, his best album. Right, with booming production and a more West Coast sound than his debut, Cube gave us a lesson in the classic album making 101. From the classic tracks like No Vaseline, The Wrong Nigga to Fuck With, Steady Mobbin', Giving Up the Nappy Dugout, and the phenomenal Bird in the Hand. Cube never disappoints on this project at all. It is one of the greatest albums in hip-hop history, so of course it makes the list. So this is Ice Cube with Death Certificate at number 6. Number 5, okay. Number 5 will have to be Tupac with his third album, Be Against the World, released in 1995. This is his best album. It's really not even close. At the time of his Penny jail time, Pac created an album of desperation, honesty, and realness. From the smooth vibe of Temptations to the darker yet soulful vibe of So Many Tears and Lord Knows, Pac gave us an album that we wouldn't ever forget. This is an album that recently turned 24 and it still sounds as dope today as it did in 1995. A testament to the classic status. So this is Tupac with Me Against the World, 95 at number 5. Number 4 will have to be Snoop Dogg's first debut album, Doggy Style, released in 1993. There was a time when Snoop was really on top of the world. He was brash, aggressive, and armed with a love of funk and soul. That was the motivation for his debut album, which turned out to be a game changer. Songs like What's My Name, Ain't No Fun, and Gin and Juice showed Snoop as a smooth player who could still get gangster when the time calls for it. As he has a huge knack for the dope old school music as well, it was the perfect introduction to Snoop and as a central figure in many of these albums that definitely makes it a West Coast classic. So this is Snoop with Doggy Style, 93 at number 4. Okay, got 3 more, man. Number 3 will have to be Ice Cube with his first solo debut album, America's Most Wanted, released in 1990. The debut album from Cube is nothing short of amazing. Armed with a new attitude, a chip on his shoulder, the Bomb Squad production behind him. Cube he silenced all the doubters who felt he couldn't control the album on his own. He could seize the moment, and without a doubt, this is a certified hip-hop classic. And this is Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted, 1990 at number 3. The last 2. Yep. Number 2 will have to be NWA with their first debut album, Straight Outta Compton, released in 1988. The biggest album to come out the West Coast? Debatable, but it's one of the first albums in hip-hop to inspire a full-fledged biopic, for sure. Regardless, this introduction to the group who made Raiders Hats Beyond famous is a great listen and one of the most monumental hip-hop albums of all time. It gave the hood more than a voice musically, and this album is a true holy grail to West Coast gangster rap. An iconic piece of work right here. So this is NWA, Straight Outta Compton, 1988 at number 2. Okay, now, number 1. Y'all guys not going to expect this, but y'all going to expect this shit anyway. Cliche as fuck, but I love this album to death. And it's actually my favorite album from the West Coast. And that album would definitely have to be number 1. Yes. Numero uno. Dr. Dre first solo debut album, The Chronic, released in 1992. You might be shocked to see this album on the top spot, but in actuality, it's the importance that elevate this project over the others, without question. This album is a pioneering album for the entire Death Row era and the whole G-Funk sound. Every song on the album is a sign, it signals a special time in the West Coast hip hop, and Dre did what he does best by providing the production, spitting dope, well, written by other people, but still dope. This groundbreaking album not only made Dre a star, but also helped introduce the world to the legend who will simply become known as Snoop. So, this was The Chronic by Dr. Dre, 1992. Yeah, y'all, that was the 30 greatest West Coast hip hop albums of all time. I took my time making this list. It was challenging, but I had to do it. But before I end the video, I do not want to hear no bullshit talking about, oh, why you didn't include this album on this list? Why you didn't do that? Why you didn't put this? Look, motherfucker, this is my list, okay? These are the albums I just shown. These are the albums that I just listen to damn near every day. They play a big part of my life, okay? If you don't like it, why don't you make your own list? Do that, make your own video. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else gonna make this greatest West Coast hip hop albums video? I ain't see nobody else do it, so I might as well do it. You know what I mean? I gotta step on the plate and do the job. You know what I'm saying? Because this video has been in my mind all fucking day to day. And I've really had to get this out here for you guys. You know what I mean? Like I said, I might be an East Coast nigga, but I fucking love the West Side to death. So yeah, folks. Hope y'all learn a lot from this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? East Coast, South, Midwest coming very soon. Be on the lookout for that, y'all. So this is the 30 greatest West Coast rap albums of all time. That was it for the video. Give me your thoughts in the comment box as always. Hope y'all enjoyed. Salute.